What's going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to talk about some spot Bitcoin ETF news, and we're also going to go over a BTBT or Bit Digital's mining update. Tuesday or yesterday, as of this upload, we saw the third largest day in terms of inflows. The buying pressure is clearly here still. BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF IBIT hits a record daily inflow of $788 million. And combined, the US spot Bitcoin ETFs also saw a new record for daily trading volume, nearly $10 billion. BlackRock's ETF IBIT inflows yesterday were 30% higher than its previous peak. 603 million was the record set on February 29th. And their new record inflow actually beats the total net inflow registered on Monday for all of the spot ETFs combined. It seems like there's no end in sight. This isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. And check this out, the cumulative trading volume, or the total trading volume since inception of these ETFs, is now sitting at $90 billion. Nearly $90 billion. And while this is all going on, Bitcoin created a new all-time high yesterday. Just barely. And that is big. We're seeing an all-time high before the halving even hit. And I do suspect we'll see the peak a little earlier in this cycle. I talk about that in my previous video. Next up, let's go over Bit Digital's mining update. We have some positives and negatives here. Right off the bat, a negative. We saw a decrease month over month in Bitcoin production. They produced 128 Bitcoin, and that was less than the previous month. They don't give any reasoning for this. They don't say their uptime was lower or anything like that. So I suspect it's simply due to difficulty levels rising. Their active hash rate did grow despite seeing a decrease in production. They're now sitting at 2.73 exahash per second compared to 2.5 in the previous month. Their total Bitcoin and ETH holdings combined total to a little over 100 million, with nearly $52 million worth of Bitcoin and $52 million worth of Ethereum. And the company is sitting on cash and cash equivalents of $34 million. This might be part of why this has been performing a little bit weak. I do suspect the market is pricing in the fact that rewards are getting cut in half. And I do think we're looking at the halving becoming a sell the rumor, buy the news event. The opposite of a bullish catalyst coming up, buy the rumor and selling the news. When there's a negative catalyst like this, it's very typical that the market sells into that catalyst. And then once that negative catalyst is no longer on the horizon, it gives the stock a chance to run. I do think this is what the miners are doing. We'll see if we see a continued sell-off into the halving, but I personally do see now as a time to buy, being where we are in the cycle. We could see some more pain ahead, but we are only a little over a month away from the halving. And overall, the halving is a big positive for the Bitcoin miners. Overall, Bitcoin's price appreciation throughout 2024 and 2025 will more than make up for the fact that rewards are getting cut in half. Bit Digital does hold and stake their Ethereum, and they received 43.4 Ethereum as staking rewards, basically doing nothing, and they received right around $150,000 for it. As they continue this snowballing effect of obtaining more Ethereum, staking that Ethereum, their staking rewards will get higher, and this will continue to cascade and snowball into a bigger number. My hope is that they don't sell any Ethereum at all and just continue buying and holding it throughout the long term. And here's something exciting, their Bit Digital AI update. In the last mining update, I believe we saw a $1 million quarter for their AI. That was the first quarter we saw any revenue from this. And they just 4x it, now at $4 million in the month of February. Bit Digital has 251 servers generating revenue from their AI contract. Hopefully we continue to see this ramp up and contribute to their top line, contribute to their revenue. And earnings is coming up at the end of March for Bit Digital. They're expecting a $13 million quarter, which would be an increase in revenue quarter over quarter, and close to 100% increase in revenue year over year. One thing I don't like is they're not at record-breaking quarters yet. A lot of the Bitcoin miners are seeing revenue they have never seen, even in the previous cycle, and Bit Digital is very close. They did report a quarter that was 13.4 million. If we can see a beat there, that would be another additional positive headline. Bit Digital is seeing record revenue, and they'd basically just have to barely beat their revenue expectation. So we'll have to see when earnings comes up if they'll see a record quarter for revenue. But regardless of that, we are seeing revenue ramping up as Bitcoin increases in price. Bit Digital has been among the weaker miners lately. It's down nearly 60% from peak to bottom here. And if we do continue seeing pain, if we do break this roughly 230 area, this is the area the market's trying to hold up. If we break this level, we are likely to head to $2. It was a previous relatively strong support. There are quite a few times when Bit Digital reacted on this $2 level. It reacted to it as a resistance during the end of the bear market. It reacted to it on the way up. You saw a false breakout and a retest, a bounce and a run. I do think the market's going to react to this $2 level if we do head to it, and I will be a buyer of Bit Digital at that point as well. But despite the recent negative sentiment with the miners across the board, including Bit Digital, I still expect Bit Digital to do very well. It's exciting that we're seeing revenue ramp up from their AI contract. They're continuing to stake ETH and receive rewards for it, and I do expect Ethereum to rally in price, continue rallying in price that is, and that will help out BitDigital as they do hold ETH. So of course the upcoming negative is rewards getting cut for the miners. But don't forget that the halving overall is a great thing for Bitcoin, is a great thing for the Bitcoin miners. The halving always brings huge price appreciation for Bitcoin, and we're already seeing that so far with new all-time highs before we even hit the halving. This cycle is already playing out different. There's a lot more hype this time. There's a lot more excitement, a lot more bullishness. Bitcoin is reaching the masses more easily. It's becoming more easy to invest in, and it should be a very, very exciting halving cycle. But let me know what you guys are thinking about the miners lately. What do you think about what's going on with the spot Bitcoin ETFs? We're continuing to see records getting broken there, and we will definitely see a supply crunch once we hit the halving, once we still have the same buying pressure from the ETFs, but the incoming Bitcoin is cut in half. I'm very excited to see the effect on that in the market, and we're only a little over a month away from seeing it. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.